Hi, welcome back to the podcast Catch It, a new perception. My name is Ketuk. If you get a chance, please share this with other people. Share it on your social media pages. Share it with other people that could benefit from a new perception, a new idea, or have a desire maybe to feel different. Because I think that as we change our perception, we continue to feel different. We change the way that we see the world as a whole. I think about being authentic in this podcast and how I make mistakes and errors. I misspeak, I mispronounce, I do many things, and you get it just the way it is. I do a season from solstice to equinox. I use the name Ketuk, which is a Gaelic or Celtic spirit name, means of the woods. I'm conscious of the changes that I make, and even with the changes I make, do my best to be authentic. And the reason I say that is because I don't want to go back and try to change things or tell you I misspoke, or you may have heard it just the way you needed to. And then when you see, oh, this is kind of out of order, it's the order it's in for whatever reason. I realize that I make certain changes and consistency is important. I will do my best to be authentic on this podcast as I go through what I'm about to go through in my life, with some physical changes in the near future. And I say this because I believe that the changes are good. It will bring me to a place I need to be, one way or another. And being consistent and authentic, or combine the two words and not know how to speak very well at moments, I think is important. And even though there's changes, I can still be consistent once those changes happen or decide to change back. I say that because I stayed away from audio. I did audio only, stayed away from video for a period of time. I'm under the impression there may be a lot more confusion in my life, possibly in the near future, beginning chemotherapy. And it's one of the reasons I want to talk about this, because I intend to put out a new episode every week despite what's going on with me, despite how I'm feeling physically or otherwise, despite how I'm seeing things at the moment. I want to be consistent enough to continue to do it, and I want to be authentic enough to be able to show you exactly where I'm at. And the memory may fade at moments for a short period of time. My emotions may be in different places at times. I will be under the influence of pharmaceuticals that I don't care to do. I would rather have nothing to do with them. And I have joined a club that I never wanted to be part of. That's the club of having cancer. And now that I'm here, I'm going to embrace it and then let go. I say this because I truly believe that going through this and doing a podcast every week will not be my favorite thing to do. May be frustrating at times, and you're probably going to get it just where I'm at. You're going to see me possibly in a way you've not seen me before. Not saying I haven't been there before. I've made a lot of changes in my life. I've been through a lot of different things. I see things a lot different. My perception is different than it's ever been. I've changed more possibly in the last 5 years than I have in the first 30 years of getting to know my higher self. I use certain terminology and I'm very specific about certain things. I think it's important to find that place where I can get to know my higher self. I can get spiritually healthy, if you will. I believe I'm on my way. I don't know that I'll ever arrive there in human form. I want to be prepared each day that I am able to wake and watch that morning star rise. Each day I'm able to wake and say, I'm grateful for the breath of life today. I ask the Creator to guide my thoughts, my words, and my actions, and I ask that I be of service to everyone I meet. Be grateful for each one of those things. And I say this because moving forward, I have no idea what I'm going to be able to give. And I will do my best to not be selfish and take. I will do my best to be able to continue to provide an outlook option for other people that I have had gifted to me. You see, the elders that came before me and the people that came before me and all of the so many elders, I talk about things on different episodes, and some of them are not very well watched. And I found it interesting. I was sharing with a friend how my more recent episode had, at the time, about 4 times as many views and an equal amount of thumbs up. I said, so the one that's not getting viewed very much is appreciated even more than the one that was viewed so many more times. Because it was literally viewed 4 or 5 times as much with an equal amount of thumbs up at the time. And the one that hadn't been viewed as much is called, I believe, Connection to the 90s. And I was talking about being connected to the elders, the ones that are in their 90s throughout my life, how I have been connected to them. And then there's other ones that are viewed even less. And I think it might be because of the name of the episode. I don't know what gets someone to click or not. What gets someone to share it or not. What gets someone to listen. It might be literally where the moon is. It might literally be the alignment of the stars at that given moment that get them to be able to want to listen to an episode. I don't know what it is. I believe the content is often similar from one episode to the next. Has it changed a little bit since I first started? I've changed a lot through 12 seasons of this podcast. I've changed a lot because I have a desire to continue to be different. I have a desire to leave the self-deception behind. I have a desire to stop fighting everyone and everything. And I say that because those are things I work towards. They're things that I am conscious of and work on. Being kind rather than abrasive. And I know that some people think that being abrasive is good. And I know that some people think that being sarcastic is good. And I know at one point in my life, I believed being sarcastic was as polite as I could be. Because I didn't know how to be kind. I was abrasive. I didn't mean to be. I didn't want to be. I just didn't know another way yet. And what I found in doing this podcast is I'm learning more about myself because I watch each episode. I watch each episode before they come out, and I watch each episode after they come out. Because I'm trying to find out who I am. On a very, for some people, a very deep level. And for other people, it's just what I do. I happen to not get loaded anymore. It hasn't seemed to serve me very well in this lifetime. Putting drugs and alcohol in my system just hasn't served me very well. So I've eliminated those things. I've eliminated the idea of smoking cigarettes in my life. I've never vaped anything in my life, even a puff. Those things don't serve me. I need things that will allow me to get to know my higher self, and I need to be able to take care of my physical body if I want to continue to get to know my higher self in human form. I'm going to go through some things in the near future, and I don't want to say they're difficult, and I don't want to expect that they would be easy. How do I find the center? How do I find that balance right in the middle? How do I find not to be one-sided? It's kind of like the idea of I don't have to disagree with you just because I don't agree with you. You're not wrong if you're doing it a way that you were taught. You're not wrong if you're doing it a way that works for you today. And it's better than what it was. And I say that because I need to be able to accept myself when I still feel broken at times. I feel flawed, and it's better than what I was doing. In the near future, I have some ideas on what I'm going to talk about in this podcast over the next couple episodes. And it's possible, as you see the next couple episodes, you will not necessarily see some of the effects of chemo yet, because I may record them before I start chemotherapy. Only because I want to be consistent in putting them out early Sunday morning, before we see that first morning star. They should come out early. And the reason that I want to do that is so that I can put them out. I know in the near future you're going to see maybe not the effects of the pharmaceuticals I'll be doing. You will see me under the influence of chemotherapy, because I have been blessed with the idea that I will be doing chemo every day for 14 days straight, 7 days off, and a regimen of that through the end of this season and into the beginning of next season. How far that goes, I don't know. How far I go, I don't know. There's much that I don't know, and the only thing that has been revealed to me in this lifetime is what I do need to know. And what I need to know is that I feel better about myself than I once did. I don't look down on myself the way I once did. I don't talk to myself the way I once did. I'm doing better today than I once did. I am going to be conscious that I will continue to have what you might think is a positive outlook, and the only way that I want to look at the world. And it's not through rose-colored glasses. I will give it a realistic point of view. What I know is that I'm going to do my very best each day to do the very best I can for me. Not through selfishness. You've heard me speak of the difference between selfishness and what I will implement in my life each day going forward, and that is all about self-care. It has nothing to do with selfishness. As I speak, I go by the name Ketuk. It is authentic, because when I get connected to that mystery, that great mystery that I believe in, the creator of all, and I get out in the woods and I go walking in the woods, I'm at home. I'm comfortable. And I know the blanket that I wear of the Creator at that moment. So therefore, I am safe and home in the woods. And I am safe when I bring in the name Ketuk. Something I was gifted very young. We used to say it differently. I'm proud to be who I am today. I'm proud to walk the way that I do. And through the difficult times, we will leave behind. And we will only see the sunshine today. They don't need to be difficult, even if there's a road bump. They don't need to be hard, even though they may not be easy. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Dok Shao, okay?